Welcome to the Deep Dive. Today, we're looking into something pretty interesting coming out of SC Homeschool IB Radio.
Yeah, we got hold of this document, and it lays out a whole new strategy for their funding. It's quite different from, the usual ad setup.
Totally. So instead of tons of small advertisers, they're planning to team up with just 4 main founding sponsors.
Exactly. And these sponsors get, a lot more bang for their buck exclusive rights in their category, really prominent placement.
So our goal here today is to kind of dig into why they're going this exclusive route. What's the thinking?
Right. What does it mean for the station itself, for you listening at home, and what's in it for these sponsors they're trying to attract?
Okay, let's jump in. One of the first big things that jumps out is this idea of cutting through the ad clutter.
Yeah, they mention that problem directly. You hear so many ads, you just get listener fatigue, right?
Yeah.
And the sponsor's message, it just gets lost.
We've all been there. So their solution is honestly pretty bold. Just 4 sponsors, period.
The idea being fewer voices means each one gets heard more clearly. A much bigger slice of the attention pie, basically.
And it looks like they're borrowing a page from public radio, thinking about those underwriting messages.
Exactly. Short, focused messages saying, hey, this program is supported by X, who does Y, rather than, long, loud commercials.
Which for those 4 sponsors seems like a pretty sweet deal. The document literally says they don't have to compete to be heard among dozens of ads.
That exclusivity is key. Less noise, more focus from the listeners, and maybe even building a bit more trust.
Yeah, and for you, the listener, it probably means a cleaner listening experience, fewer interruptions, and the messages you do hear stand out more.
It's not just fewer sponsors, though, is it? The document really hammers home the importance of who these sponsors are.
Right. It's not just grabbing the first 4 companies with a checkbook. There's a real focus on shared values.
It makes total sense for a homeschool station. They're specifically looking for partners that align with education, with family values.
So who fits that bill? Well, the document gives some good examples, obvious ones like homeschool curriculum companies.
Educational tech providers, too. Maybe local spots that are family-friendly, enrichment programs, things like that.
I can totally see that. Like a curriculum publisher sponsoring a little educational minute segment.
Or maybe a local museum underwriting coverage about field trips. That feels really organic, adds value for everyone involved.
Yeah, and they even mention using the IB program's global focus to attract sponsors interested in that wider educational view.
And they've got some data to back this up, referencing public media research. Apparently, something like 73% of public radio listeners feel better about sponsors when their values line up with the station.
And they expect that same kind of positive halo effect here within the homeschool community.
So for the sponsor, it's not just ad space, it's positive brand association within a really specific, engaged audience.
And for you listening, it means the sponsors you hear about are probably offering things that actually, fit your family's needs and what you care about.
Okay, so high visibility, aligned values, sounds good. But what do these founding sponsors actually get? The document talks about a whole package, right?
Oh yeah, it's pretty detailed. More than just a quick mention. They're talking scheduled on-air shout-outs during busy times.
Like maybe during the morning homeroom slot. Or that lunchtime homeschool hour they mentioned.
Exactly. Regular, maybe even daily mentions. Something quick like, this hour is brought to you by sponsor name, providing brief description for homeschool families. Simple, but consistent.
And then there's sponsoring whole segments. Like if a science kit company came on board, they could sponsor a STEM Sparks feature or something.
Yeah, with a tagline like STEM Sparks, presented by company. That embeds them even deeper into the content.
And it's not just on the radio. They call it multi-platform exposure.
Right. So recognition on social media, the station's website, even in email newsletters.
So you'd see sponsored logos, maybe little blurbs in the weekly emails, Facebook posts shouting them out, maybe even banner ads on the site, so covering all the bases.
But here's a really big one. Exclusive category lock-in.
Ah, yeah, that's huge. So only one sponsor per type of business.
Exactly. If they sign up a curriculum publisher, that's it. No other curriculum publishers can be founding sponsors.
But that essentially makes them the official partner for that category on the station. Like the official curriculum partner. That's got to be a major selling point.
Definitely. But it's not just passive advertising either. They're talking about real community engagement.
How so?
Well, inviting sponsors to fund things like student contests or maybe scholarships with naming rights. Imagine the sponsor homeschool art contests.
Oh, interesting. Or even co-hosting events, like maybe virtual workshops for parents.
Yeah, so the sponsors aren't just, broadcasting at the community, they're actually contributing to it, supporting it directly.
That builds a different kind of relationship, doesn't it? More trust, more connection. The document points out that this active involvement is a big part of the pitch.
So for you, the listener, it means the companies supporting the station aren't just names. They might be offering real opportunities or resources that benefit you directly.
Okay, it sounds like a strong package, but how do they actually plan to find and sign up these 4 crucial sponsors?
Good question. The document suggests the first step is really targeted outreach, identifying likely candidates in those key areas, curriculum, tech, family services, etc., and contacting them directly.
And they've got some ammo to back up their pitch, right? Data about homeschooling in South Carolina.
Oh, yeah. They mentioned some pretty significant growth, like a nearly 50% jump since 2017.
Wow, that's substantial.
Yeah, and over 50,000 K-12 homeschoolers in the state as of 2023, with projections for more growth.
So they're showing potential sponsors. Look, here's a large, growing, and very targeted audience you could reach exclusively through us.
Exactly. It's demonstrating the market opportunity. They even mention a figure, something like $1,000 a month level. The document isn't super clear what that refers to exactly, maybe average family spending or something.
Yeah. Needs a bit more context, but the general point seems to be underscoring the economic value of this audience for sponsors. Makes sense.
Which really brings us back to the core question. Why this model? Why just 4 sponsors? What's the big idea behind it?
Well, the document lays out a few key drivers. First off, probably funding stability. Fewer, larger commitments might be more reliable than chasing lots of small ad buys.
That makes sense, and it also circles back to those values we talked about.
Right. By being selective, they can really ensure the sponsors fit the station's mission around education and community. It protects their brand, in a way.
And you can definitely see the public radio influence again. They explicitly mention that underwriting model.
Yeah, the idea that sponsors support content, they don't interrupt it with jarring ads.
And they pull out another stat. 70% of public radio listeners apparently prefer that underwriting style and are actually more likely to support those sponsors.
So there's evidence suggesting this model resonates well with listeners.
Ultimately, it seems the main goal is to keep the station focused on you, the listener.
Yeah. Less ad clutter, a better experience, and for those sponsors who do come on board, a really premium standout way to connect with the homeschool community.
So summing it up, this whole founding sponsor model for SC Homeschool IB Radio is built on what? Limited numbers, high visibility.
Strong value alignment, a really comprehensive benefits package that includes actual community engagement, not just ads.
And the why behind it all seems to be about securing stable funding while staying true to their mission.
Creating a better listening experience and offering sponsors a unique, high-impact partnership.
It definitely leaves you thinking, doesn't it? As a listener, what kind of sponsors would you actually find valuable on a station like this?
Yeah, that's a great question. How could this specific model, these exclusive partnerships, potentially shape the content or even create new opportunities for your own family's homeschooling journey, something to chew on?